Hello, welcome to the When I Have Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank. I'm here. What's up? Um, it's um, it's great doing podcasts for yourself. Um, oh god, but yeah, like the material is too spicy to get a lot of views anymore. But anyway, I am baffled why the Gina Carano thing is such big news. Well, I understand why it's big news because it shows the hypocrisy of Disney. But I mean, like, it's a big corporation. Like, of course, it's from the start. It was full of hypocrisy. Just I don't know. The whole thing doesn't make sense. Like to me, I think there's a bigger news story involving Disney, and that's why the Gina Carano thing is such a big deal. Like, okay, Disney is hurting for money bad, right? So what do? They fire the one thing that's making money on the Mandalorian. Like they make money from the toy sales. So they like Disney made Hasbro stop producing the toys, and then all the toys that are on sale, like at Walmart, Kmart, whatever, all these stores, they're like $1 now, $2, and then they made Amazon. You can't sell the toys on Amazon, so eBay now is the second hand market haven for Gina Carano's character, Cara Dune figures, and they're like $200 now. And then I was gonna get a Cara Dune figure like a couple weeks ago, but uh, I'm like, well, because first of all, I knew she was gonna get fired. That's the reason why. But and I'm like, well, how'd you know she was gonna get fired? Well, because when they took her out of the poster, that right there to me meant they're gonna fire her because they didn't want like whatever, like 2 years down the line to people to have the poster. And I'm like, oh, well, what happened to her? So that was a sign right there. So like, I'm not surprised that Gina Carano got fired. I'm sure I've said this before because when I'm right, I like to talk about it a lot. Excuse me. When I'm right, I like to talk about it a lot. Um, and when I'm wrong, I lie about it. Anyway, so to me, I'm not surprised. But then, once again, I'm smarter than the average person. So like, the writing was on the wall for me. I already knew Gina Carano was going to say something, and I corrected myself. I was going to say something stupid. So far, she hasn't said anything stupid, but I was going to say, she's going to say something stupid to get fired. But I take that back. I just knew she was going to say something that was going to get her fired on social media because they're looking for an excuse, and all it takes is anything, and it can be spun and made to fit your agenda. That's why. That's why the news is bullshit. Like the only thing, actually, anything can be spun to fit your agenda. So, but that's why if you're a celebrity, like the best thing Gina Carano could have done is just left social media. But she has a voice, and just like every other American, she has the right to be heard. But I think she knew this was going to happen because she just kept posting stuff. And once again with that, like anything racist, anything involving race, war, tragedies, if it's used as an analogy, you can find someone who can twist it to be offended by it. And that's why I think she did it on purpose, because there's more money to be made than being on a Disney Plus show. Once again, it's all about money, folks. What makes more money, being on a Disney Plus show or making movies? Doing a Disney Plus show or being a pioneer in the in our social media influence world right now. I think being a pioneer, like there's going to be more and more people are going to come out and speak their own opinions, because there's a lot of people who think like Gina Carano. And first of all, we don't know what she really thinks. She's just giving like, I guess, thoughts out there saying like we should think about stuff, or we should make our lives better. Like we should change the voting system so people aren't, concerned about voter fraud. There's nothing wrong with saying that, but for some reason, because she said it, it means she doesn't like Biden and is a Trump supporter. Which, what if she was? Who cares? But the problem is, the people making all the noise are, I guess, anti-Republican. I guess that's the biggest problem with like politics too. It's like a team sport. But the only problem is Democrats are the ones who are actively mad at Republicans. Republicans, it seems like, don't care if you're a Democrat, and it's because of the elitism. Republicans, it's a general statement, but in general, once again, it's a general statement. So I'm gonna be general. Republicans are more elite. They tend to be smarter people. That's just how it is. They tend to be more educated. So people who are smarter, educated, see the world differently. So they know that people are going to have different opinions. That's why Republicans, or people who, I guess, think that way. I mean, I guess Republicans are the wrong word, because once again, they're people who like that side of the government who aren't actually Republican. So I don't know, but I'm just going to use Republicans anyway. Um, those people think differently, and so dumb people of lower education, people usually poor, they're usually not as bright or as open minded. So Democrats, um, they don't know how to exist in a world that's not an echo chamber. That's why they attack and try to shut down and try to shut up and dismiss, make people disappear who don't think like them, because thought is a threat. You think differently than me, I'm threatened. I don't know how to I don't know how to defend myself verbally. I'm going to make you disappear. Socially, I guess. Even though I did read an article that there's some Democrats who want to round up Republicans and um, mark them as traitors to the country. So the whole thing just, we can't have one party. America has several parties. The two main parties, obviously, Democrats and Republicans, but we have several parties. So I don't know. It's like people on one side, the Democrat side, they're very threatened, very very small-minded people. People on the other extreme, they're the complete opposite. So it's just like it's two opposites way of thinking. Like the Democrats are like little chihuahuas barking, making noise, making all the change. The Republicans are like giant Great Danes who just don't give a fuck. And that's why things are the way it is right now. Got one side who's very insecure, making a lot of noise, and the other side who's confident, doesn't care if they win or lose. They're just confident in what they think. And so if you don't agree with what they think, they're like, oh, that's cool, but I'm going to still think my way. And then the Democrats are like, you don't think my way? We got to erase you. It's like complete opposite ways of thinking. And that's why things don't get done. We're at a complete standstill. Yet people with free thought going against people who don't want any thought. And that's our society right now. Gina Carano, I don't know what her political standings are actually. Because she hasn't said it. She hasn't said anything. It's just that she's an open-minded person. That's her biggest flaw. She's an open-minded person, and she isn't a sheep. And that's the problem. Sheep are a hive mind. They all follow the same thing. Independent people, there's like millions of them, but it's like a million different thoughts, so they're not like united. But that's how it should be. The more ideas we have out there, better this country can be, the better this world could be. Everyone thinking the same is not good. You need ideas to advance. Or you gotta be like China. They're doing pretty good. So yeah, China's doing really good. Like China has camps, so re-education camps. Oh Lord, I like how Biden. Whether you think concentration camps are right or wrong, That's what China has right now, and they're getting rid of all the Muslims. Now, is that right or wrong? They're they're sterilizing the Muslim women so they don't have any more kids. Is that right or wrong? I don't know. What do you think? Well, apparently Biden thinks it's okay. He actually endorsed China's concentration. He actually endorsed China's concentration camps by saying, well, they have different what he said different cultural norms. So to me, that's endorsing it. And like I don't see anyone attacking them. I don't see anyone attacking Biden for saying that. I mean, like the mainstream media. Think about that. The mainstream media has done nothing or said anything about Biden endorsing the Chinese concentration camp and the annihilation of the Uyghur Muslims in China. You know why? Because one, um, they're Muslim. America is a Christian-based country. Christians and Muslims don't get along. I mean, that's why I'm not like even tripping on it. I'm like, they're Muslims. America doesn't give a fuck about Muslims. They're not gonna do anything. They're not gonna do a thing. So and I understand people who are trying to make it a big news story, but it's like the reason why it's not a news story to me is because I already know the situation. Just the way this country is, there's a lot of sheep. They don't like Muslims. See, America's kind of two faced. It's like we talk about like everyone's accepted. We want trans women in female sports. We want like religious freedom, but deep down, we don't. And I can see through it. That's why I'm like, who cares? Less than 1% of the population is trans in America, and we make a big deal about it. Who gives a fuck? Religion shouldn't even be an issue in America. You know, all of them are bullshit, and all of them come from the same place. But like, yet one doesn't like the other one. It's completely stupid. And if you live in China, and you know that the country you live in doesn't have religious freedom, why would you pick the wrong religion? Why would you pick a religion that's going to get you killed? It just makes no sense. The way your Muslims are just idiots who. That's called Darwinism. You're living in. If America had a rule that said you can't go outside on Tuesdays or you get thrown in jail, I'm not going to go outside on Tuesday. Or yeah, if America had a rule, we will put you in a concentration camp if you leave your house on Tuesday. I'm not gonna go outside because I happen to live here. You have to leave the country then. That's just how it is. These people who want to practice the Muslim religion in China, leave the country. These people who live in Hong Kong who want to act like it's America in Hong Kong, no, you live in China. So if you want freedoms, you have to leave the country. So you tell me big ass China has one little city that like thinks it's little America. Of course, China's pissed about that. That's just common sense. And then you have people in America going, "Oh, well, we gotta fight for them." Well, you gotta fight for one city in a whole country of like seven of like how many people? Like 2 billion people live in China. Are you kidding me? You got people mad going like freedom for Hong Kong, dude. The whole what about the rest of the country? You care about one little city. Who gives a fuck? It's not your country. If those people want freedom, leave. It's that simple. China has every right. The leader of China, the dictator of China, he's called a dictator for a reason. He's in charge. His rules. If you don't like the rules, get out the country. It's that simple. I don't know why people are in China's business in the first place. And then if you don't like it, then stop taking products from China. Stop giving China money. Like the hypocrisy blows my mind. If the quote unquote average American doesn't like what's going on in China, why are you buying stuff made in China? But everything is made in China. We'll stop making things in China. Make things in America. That's all you have to do is make things in America. apparently we have a lot of people who aren't working. You know why? Because all the jobs are in other countries. Make stuff in America then. So the whole thing's bullshit. We want we say we want one thing, but we do something else. It all goes back to Gina Carano. Disney Star Wars wants strong independent women characters in their movies and books and whatever. And what's the first thing they do? They fire a strong independent woman, Gina Corrado. Like it just America is the most. It's just filled with hypocrisy. Filled with hypocrisy. Disney is like the biggest China supporter ever. They thank China. They film, and that's another thing. They film stuff in China and they film stuff next to the concentration camps. People are mad because they film next to the concentration camps. Why does that matter? Why does that matter that they filmed Mulan next to the concentration camps? Why does it matter? It doesn't change anything. Why does it matter the location where they film something? You just want to be mad at something. Who cares? It's not your country. We got concentration camps in America. It's called jail. It's the same thing. Who's in jail in America? The poor. It's not a race thing. It's a economical thing. Poor people go to jail. Rich people can afford not to go to jail. That's just how it is. I don't see people fighting over those rights because who's in jail? Substantially a large amount of people who are poor or minorities. That's why jail has so many minorities in it. And no one's fighting for them. But you're gonna fight for people in some other country? It's just once again the hypocrisy of America. Look at our homeless population. You know how many veterans are homeless? But yet we care about other stuff like, I don't know, save the whales. What about this homeless vet right here? You know, it's the idiots who live in this country blows my mind. You got people who will help out a stray dog before they help out a stray person. This is why people are stupid, especially Americans. So, I guess the whole point of this rant is to avoid people and just do your own thing and stay off social media. There is no point in expressing, there's a problem. If you're a regular person, fine, it's different. But I'm talking about if you're a celebrity who doesn't want crap, you should just stay off social media, because you make a news story that covers up important news stories. That's the whole point of the Gina Carano thing. I'm thinking, because there's a lot of stuff going on that's a lot more important, like Governor Cuomo lying about the COVID deaths in New York by 50%. Okay, that's a story, but we're talking about Gina Carano. We're talking about Ted Cruz going on vacation. Governor Cuomo covered up the deaths of like about 10,000 people. Isn't that more important than like anything else that's going on? I think that's more important than what's going on in China. Who cares about China? We have a government official being investigated by the FBI right now, and it's not news. Ted Cruz going on vacation's news. Gina Carano getting fired from the Mandalorian's news. What? That makes no sense to me. I mean, I'm a big fan of Gina Carano. I've been a fan of her since her MMA days. I mean, I like that she's in the news because I like her. But it's not real news though. Because it's only news because they don't want you to focus on the real shit. Governor Cuomo covering up the deaths. And actually, I don't know the exact number because it's covered up. So we don't know the exact number actually. But the official number, supposedly, 50% more people died. Now, I'm gonna look up the official number they gave of the deaths. But the thing is, it's official, which means it's fake. So I mean, Oh yeah, it's in New York's old folks home. And what's it called? The oh my god. I'll find it right here. Yeah, nursing homes. Okay, yeah. So in New York, the reported deaths were like 13. I'm going to round down. 13,000 um, people died of COVID in nursing homes and like of facilities for old folks. But they apparently that's only half of the people who actually died in the nursing homes because of the cover up. Rough, but that's the thing that we don't know though because all we know it's covered up, but like the number given is like it could be half. So like it could be like 20,000 instead. So, but like, are we ever gonna get the official number? I don't know because we're too busy covering Gina Carano in China. Hey, let's cover what's going on in America. Governor Cuomo covering up thousands of Americans dying because he put sick people back in the nursing homes instead of the hospital. That's his fault. That's that's on his orders. But we're talking about China and Gina Carano. Who gives a fuck about China? Yeah, like Gina Carano was fired because of cancel culture. But like, the only thing we have to do for cancel culture is stop canceling people. Literally, just stop canceling. I mean, Twitter is canceling people. Um, who? It's Twitter. Who cares? I don't know why he's whatever. America makes no sense. How are the minority running this country? You know, if you look at America has over 300 million people in this country, and there's more people who don't use Twitter than use Twitter in America. Like Twitter is not a good place to gauge on how the average American thinks. So that's why when people get canceled on Twitter and then it like spills over to like real life, it makes no sense. But it does make sense because it's a great way to cover up a news story. You ever think about that? Yeah, like that's why social media is bad. It's used by the media to take away from real issues. I mean, there's a reason why all of them colluded to take Trump off social media because they don't want people who think like that because it goes against what they think. Once again, it's just a big echo chamber. At the same time, it's it's used as a tool to cover up news stories. Used as a tool to distract Americans from real issues. Social media is bad for, well, it's bad when it's used the wrong way, obviously. So obviously, right now, it's being used the wrong way. Governor Cuomo, this should be the biggest news story in America right now. It should be the biggest news story. But we're talking about Gina Carano and we're talking about China. Makes no sense. Have a good one, guys.